Hey y'all, what is up? Oh my goodness, day 29 of 29. This is it. Ah! I don't know why today I feel a little nervous. I don't know. It's excitement really. Because, oh my gosh, it is time for you to say I do to your money because you have fell madly in love with it over these last 28 days. We are now day 29. So you can say I do because, you guys are just going to love each other for the rest of your life, right? Oh my gosh. So today is truly a recap of the last 28 days. And man, as I was sitting here typing my notes of every topic that I covered over this month, I was like, yo, this was a bomb ass month of talking about money. So I am going to get right into it because yeah, this is good stuff. But before I get too far into it, if you happen to be catching this live, put hashtag live. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay. Let me know you're watching from. Tag your mama, tag your sister, share it, like it, love it, subscribe, do all the things, right? And for those of you who do not know who I am, I'm Nashaya Richardson, the Play Money Coach, and I work with high achieving women who are ready to build a healthier relationship with their money so they have more play money to do the things that they enjoy. So, let's tap into what happened over these last 28 days, y'all. Because we started out with dreams and aspirations. So, what did I do? I invited you to think about what are your dreams and aspirations that are going to require money, right? How do you desire to live your life now and in the future, right? Do you want to have a beach house? Do you want to have that beach house with the porch that wraps around to the other side so that you can celebrate and host people out on your balcony, right? Do you desire to have your home or your apartment that you live in now, but you want to travel the world and be, free of having to stay at one specific space? And you want to just reach all the continents, all the cities, all the states, everything, and you want no worries in your world, right? So, what are your dreams and aspirations? So, that was day one. We had to tap into that. So, then we can talk about day two, our financial values. So, this is truly once you identify what your financial values are, now that's truly going to change the way that you think about your money, the way that you spend your money, right? Because if you're focused on the things that you value, so maybe you value family, you value relationships, you value experiences, you value your appearance, maybe you value cars or nice houses, whatever your thing is, right? You need to evaluate or identify what those values are so that now that is going to dictate how you spend your money. And the more that you are clear on what your financial values are, the less you're going to have those impulsive purchases or those purchases that maybe are not impulsive, but maybe, if you're in a space where you're like, well, I just want to buy it, even though I don't know if I really want it. You're going to think about it twice versus saying, like, I'll just get it. And then once it arrives in the mail, you never use it, or you may use it one time and then it goes in the closet and you never see it again, right? So as you identify those values, now you're like, wait a minute, I'm not going to spend that $500 or that $100 on that thing. I'd rather put it towards the thing that I truly value. So, like I said, maybe it's one of those things that I mentioned before, maybe the home or the relationships or your appearance or your car or whatever, right? So, identify your values. It is a must because then you're also day three going to create that value based spending plan, also known as a budget. So for any of y'all that cringe when you hear the word budget, because somewhere at some point someone told you that when you have a budget, you have to restrict everything in your life and you can't have anything that you love or enjoy, which is totally false, right? So if you are that person that just doesn't like the word budget because it doesn't feel fancy, it doesn't feel sexy, it doesn't make you feel good, then you can say spending plan or whatever you desire, wealth plan, whatever, right? I call it a value based spending plan because you've identified your dreams and aspirations. You know what your financial values are. Now you have your value based spending plan. So that is your budget based around your values. So, what are you going to do as you're looking at your budget and the way that you're spending your money? You're going to get rid of the things that don't align with your values, right? Put a one in the comments if that makes sense, right? So, if you happen to be, let's say, paying for a dance class that you never attend because you're not really into it anymore, but yet you've really been wanting to do this Pilates class. How about you get rid of the dance class because you don't really value it and focus that money towards your Pilates class or whatever fits into that space, right? So it doesn't feel like, if there are some changes that you have to make, it doesn't feel like you're getting rid of the things you love. It's more so focusing on the things that you love and getting rid of everything else. Now, day 4, we talked about maximizing your income, because sometimes there's only so much budgeting that you can do until you say, you know what, I need some more income, because having more income is going to allow you to reach your dreams and aspirations faster, right? It's going to allow you to have more play money, which, you know, that's my focus, right? It's going to allow you to have more fun. It's going to allow you to really reduce that stress, have a peace of mind around your finances. And it can truly position you to where when you go in the grocery store, you don't have to worry about what you're throwing in your grocery cart, because you know, like, wait a minute, my grocery budget is a little more than maybe what it was before when I had less income, right? So we really need to focus on maximizing our income, and don't be the person that maximizes their income, but yet you get rid of all the responsibility and discipline that you had with your finances when you had less income, right? Because then that means you're hustling backwards. I don't even like the word hustling, but that means you're working backwards, right? So day 5. Now I'm gonna lose count after a while, so I'm gonna just go in order. I didn't put numbers next to my notes. So day 5 is invest, right? Because we cannot save our way to wealth. So yes, I do talk about building that savings so that you have a replacement income in the event that you lose your primary source of income, right? But I'm talking about investing, really having your money work for you. So whether you're investing in the stock market, you're investing in real estate, you're investing in a business, you're investing in someone else's business, you're investing in something that is going to have your money grow for you, work for you, right? Which doesn't require anything from you but you to invest the money so that your money can grow with ease, and you are accelerating your financial goals. You're accelerating your date to retirement or that financial freedom day, right? And you're not working for every single dollar that comes into your household. Now, the next day, we talked about building that financial freedom fund, also known as an emergency fund. Why do we not call it an emergency fund? If you remember, put it in the comments, right? But we don't call it an emergency fund because where you put your attention on, what you focus on grows. So we are not focusing on emergencies, right? Because what's going to happen? Of course, an emergency is going to happen. So if you're like, listen, I put $1,000 in my emergency fund, I'm good. Nope. What's going to happen? Now you have a $700 emergency that all of a sudden pops up, and now you have to use that money that's in your emergency fund. Where we focus on building a financial freedom fund, which could be your savings of 6 months, 3 months, a year, right? Whatever feels good for you, whatever that number looks like, then that is what you are going to continue to build, right? You put you in that headspace of abundance, right? There's more than enough. There's plenty. Oh my goodness. Look, I'm building my financial freedom fund. And it's going to feel really good and exciting versus that, oh, I'm building my emergency fund because emergencies always happen. Doesn't that feel totally different? The energy is just off, right? So financial freedom feels amazing. It feels fresh. It feels alive. It feels vibrant. So that is what we're focusing on building. So it is an absolute must, guaranteed to have a financial freedom fund. I don't care what maybe wealthy person that you're friends with or who said, no, you don't need a savings because if you have assets and whatever, okay, cool, whatever. But for me, having liquid cash available, like I said, even if it's just 6 months of your monthly expenses in a savings and that's good enough for you, then that is fine, right? But you have to have something, some type of liquid cash that you can easily access, that's not in your retirement account, that is something that you don't get penalized for pulling out. So even if that's money that you've invested in your brokerage account that doesn't actually penalize you for taking the money out, then have it accessible. But always, I suggest having a high yield savings account and putting that money there. Now, the next day I talked about mastering debt management. Why is debt management important? It's important because the quicker we pay off debt, that means that's more play money in our actual households every single month. I don't even remember what the debt amount was in United States. I think it was like 1.3 trillion or something. I don't remember the number, but it was really high, right? And this comes from one, us having more bills than we actually have income, or living beyond our means, right? And not really realizing it because we've gotten to a cycle where we've been using credit cards in addition to our income, thinking that, oh, I actually have an additional $500 a month, when really you've been using your credit card for that $500 a month. And maybe you have more bills than you actually have income. Or it could just be that you have plenty of money, but because you don't have a value based spending plan, you haven't identified your financial values, you haven't maximized your income. Now it puts you in a space where you do not know where your money is going every month. And ladies, we are getting out of that. That is the whole purpose of us building a healthier relationship with our money. We want to know where our money is every single month because we know that it's safe, right? We know it's in a safe space. We know that it's being nurtured and cared for when we actually allocate it and have a plan for it every single month. That shows that one, you respect your money as well as yourself, right? So we are in that space of positivity, right? And creating that plan so that we know where our money is going and we can be intentional about where we are having it go. Then next, I talked about automating your savings. So that money that's going into your financial freedom fund, or whether you're saving for multiple things at once. So maybe you're saving for that financial freedom fund while you're also saving for house maintenance and vacation and all the other things, right? Automate it so that you put ease into that so that it multiplies with ease. You don't have to worry about it. It's growing. You don't have to look at it. You don't have to touch it. You don't have to see it. And what's going to happen is the next time you look up, you are going to have thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in your savings account because you did not have to touch it. You let it go on autopilot and you went on with your life, right? And all we're focusing on is the positive, right? So a lot of times you won't even have to touch it because you're constantly focusing on the positive. So automate your savings. Next is negotiate and ask for more. Ladies, I know. Sometimes it's like, oh my goodness, I can't ask for an additional 10,000. I can't ask for an additional 30,000. I can't ask for a dollar more because, oh my goodness, they may take the opportunity away and give it to someone else. They may, but you will never know if you don't ask for more. Allow yourself to ask for more and put yourself in a position where you allow yourself to make more. Because if you don't ask, then you will never know if you have the opportunity to have more available to you. Hold on one second. My son opened up the door and now the sound is coming. Hold. All right, I can't afford for Facebook to delete my live because they hear background noise and think I have copyright issues. But yes, so going back to what I was just saying, it's okay to ask for more, right? And why do we want to ask for more? We want to ask for more because now that positions us to be able to have more money into our household every single month. Now, you may say to yourself, like, you know what? I've been doing this job and I've been doing it, for a couple of years now, and not really much has changed. So I'm just doing my job. Well, maybe you have changed, right? Maybe you're doing things outside of your full time employment and you've learned some new skills and you brought those skills into your current job. And those new skills have actually positioned you to be able to help the organization in a different way or in a better space than what you previously were able to do it. So now you can bring those skill sets and your ideas and bring that to the people that can make those decisions of whether or not they can pay you more, right? Because they may not even know that you have those skills that you're bringing to that organization to position them to be more successful. And they'll never know if you do not open your mouth. If you are a business owner and you are a speaker or a coach or you offer workshops or corporate contracts, whatever it is, right? Be okay with asking them, what is your budget? And if they don't have a budget, then get really clear on what is it that they need? What is the urgency? What are they willing to pay for this type of service so that you do not shortchange yourself? Because sometimes if we don't ask the right questions and identify what is available to us, we may not ask for enough. And don't be afraid to ask your number. So if you have a number in mind and they say, I don't know, we don't have a budget, whatever, right? Be okay with asking your number. Don't shy away from it because you're thinking, like, oh my gosh, they may not pay me for that. No, they probably will pay you double, but you're afraid to say it. So be okay with saying it. Either way, I need you to negotiate and ask for more. And don't just settle for the first option that is given to you and not take the chance of getting more. And don't feel like I don't need more. Yes, you do need more. You need more because it's going to allow you to, one, be able to give more. It's also going to allow you to have a better quality of life. It's going to allow you to invest back into your life, invest back into your business, and do all the things that you desire to do that requires money. So it is okay to negotiate and ask for more. Then we talked about compound interest and the power of compound interest. So you know how before I talked about investing and in saving, right? Well, how does that work and make money for you? It and make your money multiply? It's because the power of compound interest. I use the example of a snowball. So I want you to imagine a snowball at the top of the hill and it is rolling down, right? And that snowball, as it's rolling down the hill, is accumulating more snow and more snow the more that it rolls. And by the time it hits the bottom of the hill, it is ginormous, right? That is the power of compound interest. And that's exactly what happens to your money when you put it into accounts that allows it to multiply and gain interest on that money. So it is important that we think about our money that way. So if we're going into a store, or if we're going shopping, how about we think about how can I get my money to grow like a snowball versus buying this thing that could potentially be a liability for me and not do much at all, right? So if you're buying something and maybe you love Nike or you love whatever your favorite thing is that you love to buy, or maybe you're really not into it, but you just buy it because it's cute. Maybe you invest in the stock versus buying the item and allow it to make money for you like a snowball versus sitting in your closet and collecting dust. Just food for thought. Anyway, nurturing your relationship with money. So it is important that as we are doing all these things, right? We're focusing on the budget, we're saving, we're investing, we're automating our savings, we're doing all these things. We need to nurture our relationship with money. And that could look like you having regular money dates with your money so that you have set time every week, every month, every 2 weeks, whatever that looks like for you that fits into your schedule, where you are setting time aside to actually focus on your finances. And it doesn't have to be a long time, y'all. It could be 10 minutes, it could be a half an hour, it could be an hour. But as you start mastering it, it's not going to take you as long, right? You're going to have a set process that you go through of whether you're looking at your spending over the week, you're looking at the goals that you set for yourself over that time period from the last time you looked at it. You're looking at whether or not you feel good about your purchases. You're looking at all these things because it is going to position you to continue to develop that positive relationship with your finances because you're not avoiding it. You're not turning your head and saying, oh, I can't look at these numbers because it doesn't feel good. No, you're actually facing what is happening and you're positioning yourself to make changes and also position yourself to feel proud about some of the decisions that you have made, because I promise you probably made a lot more decisions that you feel good about versus the one that you don't feel great about. Next, I need you to create some financial milestones. So it's cool that you have all these things in place, but what are you actually working towards, right? It's like, going on a road trip and not really knowing what the destination is. Like, how much fun is that? Like, who just wants to get on the highway and drive and end up nowhere? I don't. Like, that's not fun to me. I get excited about where are we going, right? If you hop on a plane and you travel, you're excited about where you're going, where you're landing, what you're going to do when you get there. It's the same thing with your money. Create those milestones so that you can celebrate as you go. So whether it's like, listen, my goal is to save $10,000 and I am going to, by saving the goal of $10,000, I'm going to plan to save, let's say, I'm just throwing a random number out there, $500 a month. Now, every time you reach that $500 a month, I need you to celebrate, right? Celebrate the fact that you reached another milestone because that's getting you closer to the goal. So, whatever that goal is, make sure there's milestones on the way so that you know that you're on track. You know that, okay, this is feeling good. I'm doing good. Let me celebrate the fact that I committed to something and it's working and I can continue to do more and do better, right? Now, let's say we have the money, right? We're doing all these things. Now we can master giving back, which is truly a blessing and an amazing thing that we can do when we have more income. So now, sometimes you hear people say negative things about people who have money. Maybe the fact that they're greedy and they want all the money to themselves and there's not enough for them and all those negative mindset, self talks about money that are not true, right? There are very generous, wealthy people, and you are one of them, I'm sure, right? So whether you're giving to your family, you're giving to a friend, you're giving to a charity, you're giving to an organization that needs it, whoever you are giving to, when you have a positive relationship with your finances and you have the additional income that gives you the freedom to be able to do the things that you enjoy, it also positions you to be able to give back from a place of abundance and not worry about, oh my goodness, I'm actually taking my last and I'm giving to this organization and it doesn't quite feel really good to me. I want you to feel really good about being able to give back in whatever way you possibly can. And sometimes it's not even giving back money, maybe it's giving back time. So by making those positive financial decisions and choices, it's positioning you to have more time to be able to give to an organization or a friend or a family member versus you having to work in your business or work in your job or work wherever, right? Now you have the time freedom, which now allows you to give that versus your monetary donations. Now, next, mindful spending for financial bliss. So I talked a little bit about this in your financial values, right? But when we're really being intentional and mindful about the way that we are spending our money, it truly feels blissful because it feels like, oh my goodness, I made an amazing decision with my finances. It felt absolutely wonderful. And I feel good. It's okay for me to spend money. I don't feel guilty. I don't feel ashamed. I don't feel embarrassed about the things that I bought with my money because I know that I'm doing everything that I desire to do with my finances and I am in control. I feel amazing about the decisions that I am making. That is how I want you to feel when you spend your money. That is not saying that you can't just go out and splurge, but you have to be in position to be able to splurge with that financial bliss. So, um, be mindful of your spending. Next, strategic tax planning, right? So, we talked about this a little bit with Charlene Ridley. She was on day 25. And she talked about how, when her income increased, she had to make some different changes because it didn't feel like she actually had the increased income because of the amount of taxes that were coming out of her paycheck. And if any of y'all can relate to that, I know I can relate to that. Put a 2 in the comments, right? Because we all know that when that income goes up, so does those taxes. And it feels like, oh my gosh, the raise that I got doesn't even feel like a raise. It just feels like, like no big deal, right? So it is important that we are planning strategically with our taxes. And that requires you to invest in a tax professional that you can have a conversation with either at the beginning of the year or throughout the year, whatever is right for your financial situation, so that you are planning appropriately for taxes. That also means keeping good records, right? Even if you're not a business owner, even if you're, someone who just has a job, not just, but has a job, and maybe you're investing in some things or you have some other things going on with your money, it is important that we keep organized records. So when it is time to file taxes, we're not then hustling around at that point to get everything together. No, stay organized throughout the year so that you can have that financial bliss at the end of the year and be able to end the year out peacefully and start the new year on the same track, while also tapping into your tax professional to position you to plan for taxes so that you're not in the space where you're owing thousands and thousands of dollars. Also, so you're not in the space of getting thousands and thousands of dollars of a refund, because that is not a flex. That means you have give the IRS a interest-free loan throughout the year, and that money could have been in your pockets and in your household throughout the year. So strategic tax planning is a must, right? Then embrace your financial education. Y'all, I don't know if I could go through every day, because I'm already going 25 minutes, but I'm going to keep going because this is fun, right? So then we talked about embracing financial education. So if this you found any of these videos as, oh, financial education, cool, right? Continue to do more of this. Maybe it's not watching my videos because you've watched all my videos, right? Maybe it's you tapping into another financial expert. Maybe it's you investing in my Money Haven Academy, my online community for high achieving women, right? Maybe it's you investing in some books or taking a course or watching other financial professionals on YouTube or wherever, right? It's you actually embracing financial education, and don't run away from it because maybe it feels foreign to you or it's not something that you talked about as you grew up, or there's a lot of things that come up with money. It's a very intimate, taboo topic when actually it's something that we all have, right? So it's really important that you continue to embrace your financial education. Even if you feel like you're in a good space now, I need you to always keep your mind open to new things that could be coming up, because it's going to give you a different perspective, and it may also make things easier or better for you in your current financial situation. Then I want you to understand the importance of your credit score. So there are like a mixed things about credit scores, right? Some people are like, I don't really care about a credit score because I have everything I need, and I don't need more credit, or credit is not important to me. That's fine. That's cool, right? And if you're in that position, great. But for those of you who know that maybe you're in a position you're ready to buy a home, or you may need to buy a new car, or you need to get some type of credit for an investment that you want to make, or whatever, right? That credit score matters. Or it could also be a job that you are applying for. Sometimes they do look at your credit history, right? And if that credit history is not in a positive space, that is like a red flag to people, because they're like, ooh, I don't know if I can trust this person. I don't know if this person is responsible. And even if we do loan them money, we are going to charge them an astronomical interest rate, because there's going to be that's the penalty that they're going to have to pay, because that credit score is not A1, right? So the lower your credit score, the more you have to pay to borrow money. So it's important that you really work to build your credit up higher. Even if you do not plan to use it, have it in a great space in the event that you do need to use it, so you never have to then scramble around and look for a solution or trying to fix it, when it's going to take some months for that score to go up. Even if you pay off debt or you open up a new credit line to actually build up your credit and all these things, that stuff takes time for your score to go up. So allow yourself to give yourself the time that you need, so that you're already in position when you do have to access funding for something. Um, then the financial dream board. Now, I talked about how I don't really have a financial dream board. I do have like wallpaper stuff on my cell phone. I have like pictures in my phone, but I don't necessarily do like a poster board, because I always find that I don't look at it after I create it. So I do digital stuff, which is totally cool, right? But get really clear, or you can do a journal. I like to journal, write things out. So write down what are the things that you dream of, your financial dreams, right? And write down the why, right? You deserve it, right? But just write down the why. And then you are going to start seeing like, oh, wow, these things are happening for me. Have the pictures that match with that so you can visualize it, right? Activate that reticular activation system. So you're like, oh, all these things are coming to me, and I didn't even really have to work really hard for them. I just had to do a little bit of stuff. Then I need you to really curate an abundance mindset. So get out of that space of lack where you are thinking that there's never enough, or you're thinking that financial freedom is not for you. Or maybe you're thinking like, man, I don't know if I actually want to be wealthy because there's a lot of responsibilities that come with being wealthy, or people might start disliking me, or people might my long distance cousin might reach out to me, or my ex might text me and say, "Hey, big head." And I don't want to be bothered with that. So therefore, I don't want a lot of money because it comes with all those things. It may and it may not, right? But it allows you to really have the life that you say that you desire. It allows you to really experience those dreams and aspirations that you identified in the beginning. So it's important that you allow yourself to really shift that mindset. And if there are things that you have been believing and you're not really sure of where they came from, it's really important that you tap into that and identify, where did this thought come from? Why do I think this way about money? And if it's something that you no longer want to continue to think and believe, it is okay for you to disassociate yourself from that thought and that belief, and identify the way you do want to think and feel about money, and start embracing that abundance mindset when it comes to your finances. Next, I need you to invest in education and skills, because what is that going to do? It's going to position you to be able to make more money, right? It's also going to make you the most best version of yourself, because it's going to allow you to grow, allows you to expand, and allows you to see, like, wow, there's more out here than maybe what I thought was available to me. And you are going to constantly stay in that open mind space. Even if you're like, listen, I don't want another job, I don't want another business, I'm super good where I am, that's okay, right? But allow yourself to keep your mind open and active, so that as new things do come around you, you can actually embrace them and receive them. Next, get in community of other women who are on their journey to financial empowerment. And maybe they're already in an amazing financial space, and it's you being there to learn from them, right? I love those spaces where I can learn from other women. And it's like, yes, that means there is another level for me to continue to work towards. And I absolutely love that. It is also okay to be in spaces with women that are on the same level as you, where you are masterminding together to position each other to elevate and grow, because maybe you have a little bit of this knowledge, they have a little bit of that knowledge, and you bring it all together. And it's like, oh, wow, we can go a step further because we've come together and we've used all of our resources to go to that next level. That's truly another part of the Money Haven Academy, because, listen, I surround myself with amazing women, and I pride myself on that, because I do not have the time to, or the capacity to be in spaces where women are not ready to grow, or they're not excited about the positive things that can happen in their life. So if you're in a space where you're thinking negative all the time, you're like, yeah. The Money Haven Academy is not for you, right? You got to have that positive headspace that you're in. And even if money is not your strong suit, that's okay. That's what I'm here for, right? So the Money Haven Academy is truly a space where you can get in community with other women, and focus on financial empowerment. Your network is your net worth. That goes into, who are you surrounding yourself with? Are you surrounding yourself with people that don't desire anything other, anything better than what they have? They don't desire more. They don't desire a good quality of life. They don't desire to just grow and see what's available to them. If that's the case, then you got to not get rid of, but distance yourself from those people and position yourself to where you are in spaces with people that can truly help you, and vice versa, that you can also help, right? Because it's not just about taking, but also about giving, right? And it doesn't have to be monetarily. You don't have to give money, right? You can give your time, you can give your expertise, you can give some advice, right? You can just give someone a listening ear, just being there to hear them talk. And they're like, oh my gosh, no one lets me talk. Thank you so much. You're amazing. And you're thinking, like, I didn't really do nothing, but right? So whatever it is, get into rooms that is going to allow you to grow and meet new people that you are not used to being around, because those are going to be the people that a lot of times take you to that next level, right? Then I talked about boundaries, how they are beautiful when it comes to our finances and us building a healthier relationship with our money. Those boundaries could be with ourselves, it could be with other people, right? It could be in our business, it could be at our job. It could be with our partners, it could be with our children, whatever it is. Boundaries are beautiful and they are truly a tool that you can use to maintain your sanity, right? To build your self worth, to really allow you to say, listen, I don't want to do that with my money, or I didn't allocate that money in my budget for that. I don't necessarily want to invest in that thing. This doesn't feel good to me. I want to go and have some self-care, and that's what I'm going to use this money for. No, I cannot help you, right? So boundaries are amazing and they really allow you to become that confident financial powerhouse that I know that you are, and I know you desire to be, even though you're like, I'm good. No, you're not good. You're gonna be great after you actually put those boundaries into place in your finances. Next, gratitude creates abundance and contentment. So when I talk about contentment, I don't mean that you have to, settle for what you have now. No, that means being grateful for what you do have now as you're working towards more, right? And always looking at the positive things that are happening in your life, because when you continue to focus on those positive things, so it's like, man, you know what? I'm so grateful that, all my bills are paid and I don't have to stress about that this month, right? I'm so grateful that I have an additional, $1,000 left over after I pay all my bills. Oh my goodness, it feels amazing to be in this position to where I have money that I can save. I'm so grateful that I actually can afford to go on vacation one time a year. I'm so grateful that, oh my goodness, I get to go on vacation every other month and take a week off without any stress, whatever it is, right? Stay in that space of gratitude where you are going to find more reasons to be grateful. It is going to keep you in that positive space, and it is going to position you to have more amazing things to be grateful for that happens in your life. Then I want you to embrace the now with your positive self-talk and release the past, right? Your past money mistakes, they do not define you. Your past money decisions, they do not define who you are right now, right? Unless you want to hold on to them and keep replaying them. Not me. Been there, done that, over it, right? Let's stay in the now where we're like, listen, you know what? I made those decisions, but those decisions gave you the wisdom, the lessons, the education that you needed to get from them, so that now you are in a better financial space because you're taking the lessons and the wisdom that you learned from those mistakes and applying it now, so that now you don't have to make the same mistakes again, and you're just a little more wiser, right? And maybe those mistakes actually position you to be in a better space, even though it may not feel like it. But in hindsight, you're like, man, if had I not did this, then maybe I wouldn't have experienced that, right? Everything has a cause and effect, and it was all part of the plan. So look at it from a positive space and allow yourself to release the negative or the mistakes that you have made in your finances in the past, right? Next, it is okay to ask for help. We are at the last 3 days, y'all. So it's okay to ask for help, right? So if you're in that space where you're like, listen, I'm super good in every area of my life. My family is good, my job is good, I'm doing pretty good in my business, or I'm starting to do some things for myself and that feels good. But for whatever reason, my money stuff is just not flowing the way that I want it to flow. And that's one area that I want to improve in. It's okay to ask for help, right? You don't have to be embarrassed. You don't have to be ashamed. There is no judgment. When you come to me and you ask me for help in your finances, this is a safe space, because why? I know what it feels like to be in your position. I was there 8, 9 years ago. So I know what it feels like to feel like you're alone. And oh my gosh, they're going to judge me because I look like I have it all together, but yet the finances are not matching the outward appearance, right? So just know that it's okay. Just ask for help. Just raise your hand. There's no embarrassment there, because you have this title of vice president or whatever your title is, and you have this dollar amount with your salary that says, like, yep, that comes with financial education, discipline, a positive mindset, a healthy relationship with money. No, that doesn't come with the job title or the paycheck, right? So it's okay to ask for help and know that there are safe spaces, i.e., here, where you can ask for that help without judgment. Yes. Next, celebrate all your wins. I don't care if you save $5 a week. I don't care if you save $500 a week. I don't care if you save $5,000 a week. Celebrate every single win. I don't care if you find a quarter on the ground. Celebrate it because you're going to find another quarter. So that you stay in the space of celebration, right? And it doesn't have to just be with your money. It could be you celebrating the fact that you went outside today and it wasn't raining, or it could be that you got all the green lights on the way to your destination, or your kid came home with a positive report. Whatever it is, I want you to find a reason to celebrate everything so that you can stay in that space of celebration. Now, the last day, which was yesterday, is I talked about self trust builds trust fund. Now, I'm not going to go into the whole trust fund thing, but I'm going to focus on the self trust, because when you learn how to trust yourself, it is going to show you that, man, I can truly do anything that I say that I'm going to do, or and commit to it and follow through on it. And maybe it won't be easy, because if it's something new, those things don't come easy, right? It's like, oh, give yourself time to learn, give yourself time to make mistakes, give yourself time to actually do something really well that is maybe the first time, right? But you have to learn to build that self trust, because the more we follow through on the things that we say that we are going to do, the more we start to trust ourselves. And a lot of times that is what comes up for the women before they start working with me. It's not that they don't trust me. And even if you don't trust me, okay, we need to build that trust. But it usually is whether or not they trust themselves of, oh my goodness, how is Nashea going to help me? Because I've tried budgets, I've tried to save on my own, I've tried to pay off debt, I've tried to do all these things, I've tried to control my spending, but nothing ever works, or it's temporary. So therefore, there's no way that Nashea is going to be able to help me, or that other money coach, or whatever, right? Insert whatever that is for you, right? But once you start learning that, listen, I said I was going to do this thing at 5 o'clock, I'm going to show up and I'm going to do this thing at 5 o'clock every day. Or it's, you know what, I said that I was going to take out the trash at, right before I went to bed. And for the last 3 nights, I didn't do it. Tonight, I'm going to commit to it, and I'm actually going to do it. That feels amazing. That builds your self-trust, right? You say, like, you know what, I'm not going to go on social media all day, and I'm going to commit to that. If you follow through on that, you are building your self-trust. So I need you to do more of that, because that's going to then translate to your finances. So the more you build self-trust, the more you are going to be able to trust yourself with your finances and the decisions that you're making. And that is going to allow you to build that healthier relationship with your money. Now you can say I do to your money because you have fell madly in love with it. That was all 28 days. Today is the last day. I'm out. But this is the wrap, right? Like, I just went through all 29 days or 28 days of falling madly in love with your money. And I promise you, if you took any of that and you implemented one thing, you are in a better position than you were in January, right? Or probably last year, right? So if you're like, listen, that was a lot, Nashea, like these were all good, but I still need help with implementation. I still need the blueprint, because you telling me this stuff really means nothing to me because I still haven't done it on my own. That is okay, because I invite you to be a part of the Money Haven Academy, which is my online community, y'all. And we're starting next week, March 6th. It's my online community for high achieving women who are committed to achieving financial freedom. You're ready to build a healthy relationship with your money. You want to improve your money management so you have more play money, right? You want to improve your overall financial well-being. As we go through my 6M Wealth Acceleration Method, that is exactly what you're going to do. In the community, we have a community for support, and it's an inclusive environment where you get to learn practical money management skills, and you get support from not just me, but the other women in the community, so that you can mastermind and build and support one another as you're all on your financial journey. Whether that looks like you want to save more, you want to invest more. I don't focus on investing, but I do have wealth professionals that come in once a quarter to talk about different wealth building topics outside of what I coach on. But you want to pay off debt, you just want to focus on like controlling your spending, whatever it is, we cover all the foundational stuff in the Money Haven Academy. And it's truly a safe space where you can learn how to build a healthy relationship with your money without judgment. Because I know that a lot of us are in these communities with some amazing women, and maybe they're making lots of money and everybody looks like they have it all together. Where we all know that all that glitters is not gold, right? And sometimes with that comes the feeling of, oh my goodness, I have to maintain this appearance. I can't let anyone know that I really need support with building a healthy relationship with my money. And maybe I don't want to raise my hand because I'm afraid of the judgment. Well, there's no judgment here, right? If you're in the Money Haven Academy, this is your safe space, right? It's a money haven, right? And I'm here to help you break free from that financial overwhelm and provide you all the tools and support that you need so that you can create your personalized financial plan that actually works for you. Now, over in the Money Haven Academy, we have live monthly master classes, and these are the topics that we're going to cover throughout the year. I'm going to help you curate a value-based spending plan, right? Also known as your budget. Going to help you optimize your income so that you have more money, right? You're maximizing the income that's already in your household. You're going to effortlessly multiply your savings, pay off debt faster, develop a healthy relationship with money, go from that impulsive spender to the empowered buyer. You're going to learn how to master your money mindset. You're going to develop those financial boundaries that give you that financial peace of mind, which is so amazing. You're going to be able to prepare for that legacy vault, right? So there's a lot of planning that goes into place when we're thinking about legacy and we're thinking about trust and will, right? So you're going to have that organization and all the things that you need so that you're in position with that. And the last thing, we're going to talk about multiplying your income, because it's great that you can do all these things, but we also need to have some more money so that we can do more of the things that feels good to us. So if you're ready to take control of your finances and build a healthy relationship with money, I invite you to join us in the Money Haven Academy, where again, we'll work through my 6M wealth acceleration method that will set the foundation to make your financial dreams a reality. And this is only for $97 a month. It's truly a no-brainer because I just show you how to make, find $97 in your current income anyway. So whatever, but it's a no-brainer. So join us. And if you're like, listen, I don't want to be in community. I want one-to-one support. Like, I don't want to be with other people. I just want to have all your attention. That's cool. Right now I have 2 one-to-one spots available. Go ahead and book a call at meetwithnashaya.com. It's going to take you through my application process. And if you are a good fit, we will have a conversation about what that looks like for us to work together for 3 months. And that investment is $3,750. So just know that before you go into it and you're thinking like, how much does it cost? Because I know some people do that. They go through my process just to see how much it costs. But all my prices are on my website because I'm price transparent. Anyway, y'all, this was amazing. Thank you for joining me over these last 29 days. This was really fun. It was a challenge for me some days, not gonna lie, full transparency. I was like, do I really want to do this? I really committed to every single day. Yes, I did. But I'm also going to take March to really disconnect a little bit, right? And focus on my clients. So if you found value in any of these last 29 days, put hashtag value, right? And also feel free to share, like, and love. But I'm going to close this out. And if you have any questions at all, feel free to direct message me. But this is the last time. Y'all have an awesome evening. Stay safe, and I'll see y'all